Hey all, so this is the Rites of Passage event. This is a Dark Commander and Noble Killer event. Now before I start going over the teams I am going to be using for this event, I am going to be doing a free gem giveaway during this video. Check the pinned comment for more information about that. I will go into more details about this at the end of the video. Now, if you don't know who I am Shadow of Dark. I am on the Council of Warbeasts 2. We are actually recruiting players at the moment. If you do have an interest in joining one of the Warbeast guilds, feel free to contact me online or on Facebook. My line ID is in the guild profile and on my player profile. I'll just go over to that quickly. So there's my player name and line ID. I am a completely free player. I have never spent money on the game. I am also rank 500. As you can see, the EXP is maxed out, even though it's still going up. So that's a bit about myself. Let's move on to the actual event. I have two decks here. I did not go for the event deck this time around. I decided to use a mix of the Golems deck with the Freedom Fighters deck. Also using this Slayer ultimate form that has the Noble Killer skill needed. So the first deck, this is basically just the Golems deck with the Freedom Fighters. I'm sure most of you have seen me use this deck before. This card gives the supercharged buff, and then all the other cards spawn power gems. I'm mainly using this for the maps. This card here helps as it has the bonus attack on it. That helps with the damage on the bosses. So there we go. And onto the actual bosses, I use a slightly different deck. Now the reason I do this deck is because two of the cards had the bonus attack buff. And when used with the Golems deck, you can increase the damage on that significantly. So the idea behind this deck is I use the Golems Ultra Rare. That gives the damage immunity. That also gives the supercharged buff. Now that buff also increases the damage that the Bio Blitzer card does and the Freedom Fighters. So when used together you can create quite a lot of damage, and it is pretty effective actually. And then finally, Unbowed Royalty has the Noble Killer skill. It's not an especially effective card for the battle skill. However, with the killer skill, that increases the damage even more. So this is actually on par with the event deck, believe it or not. This does a lot of damage. So I think now let's actually move on to the Crusade and the bosses. I will start off by testing out the boss's team on a guild boss. This gets through the bosses pretty quickly. I need a 3 times, or should I say 5 times battle boost, 3 keys to kill it though. So here we go. So now use the ultra rare. This gets rid of all the debuffs as well. You may have seen there's a new slumber debuff. That gets rid of that, and then just use all the cards. Then the bonus attack hits for really good damage actually. There we go. Then just repeat the process. And that gets rid of the bosses pretty easily. Yeah, no chance now. It's all about the bonus attack though, that's what does all the damage there. So that's a pretty effective deck actually, all things considered. It gets rid of the Diamond Guild bosses reasonably quickly and does not use any of the event cards. So it's a similar story with the Corellium solo bosses. I can't get any overkill on them, but I can take them out pretty quickly. That's the wrong team. Hold on, that's the one. Yeah, I don't want to use that team. It would not be that effective. It would be okay, but it's nowhere near as good as this team. Right, turn one. So hopefully this will take off about half the health. Let's see. Yeah, it's all about that bonus attack really. When that hits, the boss takes so much damage. So one more attack and then that's the boss defeated. I've not tried this on the Corellium Guild bosses yet, but it should be pretty effective. Yeah, I didn't get the 25%. I may have been quite close to that though, but it got rid of the boss pretty quickly, and that was the important part. Most of the trophies are from the guild bosses. So I think now let's take on the maps. I'm going to do a diamond map, then a Corellium map. With the diamond map, I can use pretty much any dark card and get through it without too many problems. With the Corellium map, I really need an ultimate form from the event. So here we go. This has 3 million health, so I could probably do the Corellium maps as well if I had one of the Golems cards. However, it would take longer without the killer skill. So this is to get the supercharged buff up. There we go. Now the rest of this should be really easy. So for the boss, I will use these cards as well, and that should kill it in one turn, hopefully. There we go. So that was really easy for the diamond map. Now for the Carillion map. So I need to find someone who has the ultimate form from the event. There we go. Perfect. And this should get through the map without too many problems. The Golems deck is really effective. If you do have the event deck, I strongly recommend mixing the Golems deck with the event deck. Okay, so we have a boss to start with. So this will be slightly different. I will use Supercharged on turn 2. And hopefully this will be enough to kill it now. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. No problems. So normal enemies here just use what's on the grid. Then finally the boss. You may have noticed that the bonus attack does not actually do as much damage here. So using the Golems deck on its own may be more effective. That's up to you. But anyway, there's the boss defeated, hopefully. So one final thing to note. You may have noticed you are not getting as many keys this time around. So please be careful with the guild keys. I have not actually seen any guild key gifts at all so far, so yeah, be a bit careful there. Be sparing with your keys when you take on the bosses. So let's go back. There's one other thing different with this event. There's an extra pack in the store. A revival pack, should I say. You normally only get the one revival pack, but we have 2 this time around. Synergized and the Carbine Vault. Now, if you don't already have the Golems deck, this vault is highly recommended. Hopefully, most of you already have that deck, though, as it is basically the most powerful deck in the game so far, in my opinion. You can also go for a few tiers of this deck, even though I don't think it's that effective. It's okay, this deck, but nowhere near the strength of the Golems deck. The Golems deck really is the best deck in the game so far, which is why I have been working on it so much. It's my main GVG deck, and this will likely be my main GVG deck for a long time yet. Onto the actual event deck. Let's just have a look at it. Now, it does have the killer skill. I could make one of these two cards, but I don't really need to. So it's power gems plus a berserk buff. Only 80% increased damage though. So using the event deck alone is likely to be quite difficult on the bosses. So yeah, you probably want to mix in that card with the Golems deck if you have it for the bosses. So it's entirely up to you if you want to go for this deck or not. I'll leave that for you to decide. Now, on to the free gem giveaway. I'm sure you're all waiting for this part of the video now. This is all about Gem Crush. If you want to have a chance of winning some gems, all you need to do is let me know what you think of Gem Crush so far from what you've heard or seen. That's all you have to do. Make sure you leave your player name though. Make sure that's also spelt accurately, otherwise you will not get the free gems. So the idea behind Gem Crush is that power gems go up past level 4. Power gems crush together to create higher level power gems. This is to stop the board becoming full of power gem 4s and that being the maximum damage. So basically this will increase the cap on the amount of damage you can actually do. Creating a full grid of power gem level 20 will basically be impossible, I would have thought. So it's an interesting idea. It might make certain aspects of the game harder though. For example, GVG, if you use turn delay cards, as the gems will automatically crush together, you won't be able to use the turn delay card as often as there will be less gems. That's one example I could think of. However, the idea sounds quite interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what this will actually be like. Hopefully the decks will get a bit more powerful once we get Gem Crush. And bear in mind, Gem Crush will appear in all activities. So just be aware of that when we finally get it. There are also some free gifts that you can get from this. Make sure you've clicked on that if you've not already done so. So I think that about covers this event. I hope that was helpful. I hope that was interesting. Don't forget to take part in the Gem Crush giveaway, the free gems. I will pick players at random to give those gems to. So hopefully you will leave a comment on the video letting me know what you think of Gem Crush. Also, feel free to leave a comment letting me know what you thought of the video. If you do have any suggestions for further videos, I'm always happy to take those as well. And thanks for watching.